Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today's Monday. We're starting out a new week with lots of great opportunities. Today, I'm going to be talking about real estate and what it's like investing across state lines. You want to invest out of state. And so, the reason I thought that this would be a good topic to talk about, excuse me, while I'm trying to get this all set up here. But the reason I thought that this would be a good topic to talk about. Uh-oh. Trying to get this all set up here, but the reason I thought that this would sorry about that. The reason I thought that this would be a good topic to talk about is because on December 5th, we are hosting an event that we had here in the Cleveland market called Couples in Real Estate. We're taking it on the road and we're headed to Houston, Texas. And we will be in Houston December 5th. And so one of the things with that is almost done here. I'm sorry. I can look at you. Um all right, I'm sorry about that. So one of the things that we're going to be in Houston December 5th, and a lot of the people that will be attending, they will live in Houston. You can invest wherever you're at. You don't have to invest in another state or market. But if you are in Houston, you may be interested in like the Cleveland market per se. And the reason a lot of investors like this Cleveland market is the price point of the houses, much cheaper. The entry point to get in is much lower than it is in probably even there in Houston. So we still have inventory in our market still going for 30, 40, $50,000 that may need at 50,000 it may not need anything depending on where it's at in the city. But in some cases it may need 20 or $30,000 worth of work done, and then collecting rents 1,000 to 1,200, some cases $1,500 a month in rent, especially if you're looking at those multifamily houses. So there's some myths that come along with investing in real estate out of state. I have certainly heard some horror stories, and I'm going to talk about or share some of that information here about like the horror story and what could have been done to avoid it. So investing in real estate, is it risky? Yeah, I mean, anytime when you put money in the stock market, there's a risk that that stock price is going to go down, and you're going to lose money off of it. But what we really want to do is minimize the risk as much as possible. Building a portfolio will help you minimize the risk because the other properties in that portfolio will help absorb any of the expenses on the other side. And then doing things of really screening those tenants, making sure you're collecting security deposits on these properties as well. So one of the myths that always come up is that it's risky and it shouldn't be done, meaning to invest in out of state market that is too risky and it shouldn't be done. Technology today alone helps any investor. It doesn't matter if you are in a different state or out of the country. Google will alone give you a accurate, up to date, or pretty recent view of the property. It even will have a date stamp on there when that picture was last taken. So with that, you can literally go Google that address, pull it up, take a look at it. And then you can also even do a research. These are things you can do on your own without anyone else's assistance by just going onto the internet, pulling up Google. You can even check the values of the price points of the homes that also sold around it. So um, it's important that you do your due diligence and research. Obviously, for some of the clients that we meet, some clients will fly in once the property goes under market. Sometimes they want to kind of do the whole tour experience where they fly in and do the tour piece of it. I don't necessarily think that that should happen unless this is your first time coming to Cleveland and you just want to get a feel for the city, know the areas a little bit, not go back home. The problem with coming and touring the properties and trying to make a offer on them that way is that the inventory is flying so quickly that by the time you do that, you go to see the property, write the offer on them, you may not win that property. So now you wasted a trip here for no reason. So what I suggest is, if you want to get familiar, just kind of come to town and really learn the inventory. And then we are working as real estate agents, we're working for you, trying to find that property. We will send those properties to you. We'll share a video with you so you can get a better glimpse, because pictures, have angles and everything. And so sometimes the way pictures, I mean, there's been a dozen times where I've gone out to a property, looked at the picture online. It's like, okay, what's going on here? I've been catfished, right? Happens even in real estate. And so, showing that video, we like to show the video of like the street view of the area, so any potential buyer can get a good feel for that area. Then we write the offer, submit it, and we get that offer accepted. So for our investors, we also want to plan to have a home inspection. That home inspection will be done by a licensed home inspector here in the area. In fact, you can even pick your home inspector. We will provide you with the list, and you can choose from that list, kind of vet them out as you will, and then have that professional home inspection done on the property, all with you investing at home. If you live in California, if you live in Houston, wherever you live, being able to do that remotely. Everything can be done remotely, right? So the title company, you don't have to be here in the Cleveland area for the closing itself. We will send a title rep, or they will send you the documents to sign and have notarized and send back. And then if you want to come after the closing, you can fly in, see, and take a look at your purchase. Or you don't necessarily even have to come here to Cleveland at all, which I know sounds so crazy for a lot of people, because it's like, how can I invest in a property where in a city that I've never been, and I've never even seen the property in person that I'm going to purchase? But it happens all the time. It's common. It's just about having a good team in place, trusted team in place. And so we know when certain things aren't right in a situation, the communication is not there. Get some feedback from some other folks as well. So another myth about the property is that, well, I need to be nearby the property in case there's some maintenance issues that arise on the property. So I need to be close to handling. And truth be told, right, you probably wouldn't be the one that would be going out to the property. Tenant calls, has a clogged toilet. You, even if you were in town, you probably wouldn't be the one going out to deal with this clogged toilet. You're going to call a contractor, a maintenance guy, or something to go out to the property. That same thing can happen for you while you're out of state. You have your list of contractors that you can call, either like a handyman that can kind of cover it all, or you have some companies that you can call. Whatever it is, the maintenance is definitely not an issue. So the other thing that you do with that is that you have a property manager in place, a reputable property manager. A lot of you are hiring folks to manage your property who are not even licensed. Go with one of the real estate brokerages that offer property management service, because that means that they are licensed professionals handling it for you, versus a random person, friend, whoever, cousin handling the property management services. It's not super expensive. The management company will be that buffer between you and the tenant. So when the tenant has your phone number direct, they will call you. You never really know when they're exaggerating on maybe like a repair or anything like that. So that property management is that buffer in between. They are the local boots on the ground that is going to go out, take a look at the property for you, assess what needs to be done, and call out any maintenance folks out to the property to make the necessary repairs. So, the property management company is going to be what helps you along this process. So, let me just back up a little bit and just talk about it very clearly of what the process and steps would be. You live out in California, you heard about this amazing real estate here in the Cleveland market, and you want to invest. Same process if you wanted to invest in Michigan, or you wanted to even buy a vacation home, maybe down in Florida. You do a little research about the areas. What are the average price points? What is driving people to that area? Is it a touristy town? What is the jobs like in those markets and everything? In Cleveland market, we have three major sports teams. We have the Browns, the Indians, which I think they changed their name, but and we have the Cavs, right? Those are our major sports team. We have a couple of Cleveland Clinic, which is a major hospital. We have a huge art district. We have Case Western Reserve, which is a medical college. So these are just a few of the reasons that people are constantly coming into town. When you think about sports teams, right? That there are three major sports teams in a town that are located in our downtown area specifically. That means there are people that are going to need housing in that area. So, or in the community or whatever. So these are some of the things that you think about, like why are people, what's going on in that Cleveland market or whatever that market is. So you're doing some research on the market. Then you want to find a local real estate agent that is used to working with investors. It's very important that you ask the questions. The biggest question in giveaway that you want to ask that agent is if they invest in real estate themselves. This is key. This is key when you're working with someone, because are there good real estate agents out there that don't invest themselves? There are, but they are hard to find, right? The reason why you want to work with a real estate agent that invests in real estate themselves, or with a company that specifically focuses on real estate investing, is because they understand what you're looking for as an investor. The average agent, yes, they sell homes, but they don't know what to look for. You want the agent that is uh, skilled enough to go into a property is to check for foundation issues, the electrical, the roofing, to check on these major components and understand the area enough to what would make a good rental property, a good return from you. So the first thing you want, the second thing you want to do is find a real estate agent that can assist you, help you run the numbers, help you understand what areas in the market would be a good rental area as well. The next thing you also want to do is you want to ask for a referral for a property management company. A property management company, and you want a couple of them. You want to call and interview those management companies to find out how they handle things. When do they meet the tenant? Do they will they collect the rent for you? Do they have an online portal for you as the owner and for the tenant to pay? Do they go out to pick up the rent, or do they have a system in place for that renter? So it's important that you start doing your due diligence and start working through that. You also want to start reaching out and finding folks that handles maintenance. If you have a property management company in place, they will absolutely begin to find or provide quotes for you for any of the maintenance services. However, you as the owner can still provide your own maintenance providers. You may want to compare the two. Now, it's hard to get contractors or maintenance guy just to go out to quote unquote, and you're trying to compare the two, but the guy over here you seem to never go with, because they're going to disappear. They're not going to take your call. You want to make it that person's worthwhile, so maybe offer some sort of incentive so they can be your ongoing maintenance person. But a lot of the maintenance or the property management companies do have maintenance in place for you to handle anything that may arise. And then lastly, again, I don't suggest that you go out while the property is, while you're searching for the property. But if you find a need to come out to the area, you can do it either at the very beginning stage when you just want to see the area, or after you actually close on your property. We've been working with investors out of state, out of country investors for years now. Happy to share lots of great stories. It's really good, or it makes me proud when you work with families, and this is something that they're just getting started. They're trying to build some or create some generational wealth. So you can do it too. So if you want to know more about investing in out of state, you don't have to be scared about it. It's just about finding the best team for you. So thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to share that information with you on a Monday. Um, Happy fall. The weather has been really nice here in the Cleveland market. Not too cold, not too hot. You know, I like it hot, but not too hot. Very nice, very fall, festive feeling outside. So I hope you are taking advantage of those activities if you're not here in the Cleveland market, wherever you're at. All right, guys, have a good day. Talk to you next time.